explain two additional ways that you can register users for your Adobe Captivate Prime account. We're in the administrative panel. You'll notice if you look under the profile that the administrator access is selected. Here in the administrator panel, choose users from the left-hand column. There you'll see the different registration types. Now the most common is simply to use a CSV file to register learners. But in some cases, you may have external learners, or you may wish to allow learners to register themselves. We'll take a look at both of those models here. So, for self-registration, you simply click on the self-registration option to see those groups of learners which have been self-registered. In order to add a new self-registration group, you simply click the Add button on the upper right-hand corner. Then give that group a name. You can give it any name which is appropriate for that purpose. Let's say that we wanted to create a group for marketing. So we create a group name there, and then we need to list the name of the manager of this particular group. So here I'll use my own name as the manager of the group. Now it's important to note that the manager must be someone who is currently a part of your Prime system. So you'll need to have your own name or the name of a manager already included in the Prime system. The image is optional, and you can use any image that's appropriate to the group in question. Just scroll through, find the image that you'd like to use, and then choose Open. Once you're ready, click Save in order to save that particular group of learners. And it's just that simple. You can see that now we've created a group whose profile name is Marketing, and here's the login URL. And this is the critical part. Now, when doing self-registration based groups, you'll find that the self-registered groups are eligible for the same kinds of gamification and other content as any other group inside of Captivate Prime. Click the login URL, and that will copy the login URL to your clipboard. Once you have it on your clipboard, you'll be able to send it out as part of an email to invite people to participate in that particular piece. Just write up an email, send it to those people who you want to be able to log in and participate in your particular project. Now let's take a look just briefly at what the differences are between self-registration and other typical kinds of registration for Prime and external users. So in the case that someone is uploaded through a normal human resources information system CSV file, or they're a single user you just added to Prime, or you've done the self-registration as you just saw me do there, in all of those cases, those users are eligible to use an Adobe ID or a single sign-on. They are typically used for people who are inside your organization, and they do qualify for all of the aspects of gamification, including the learning hierarchies inside of Prime. External users, on the other hand, are flat. They have no hierarchy. They're not subject to different managers, so there's no organizational tree above external users. And because of that, gamification is not available. Now, you can still use badges, but you will not have access to the leaderboard, and anything else that requires the managerial flow or the flow of hierarchy, an organizational hierarchy, is not enabled for an external user group. So before you decide to do external users, you want to just be aware that it's a slightly different use case for external learners. Now here we are in the external learner section. Here again in the users under admin, we click on external learners, and here you can see I've set up one group, Acme, and I assigned 300 seats to Acme. Now you'll notice that Acme has a similar kind of a notion, but it has an actual expiry. So this group will only exist up through November 16th of 2016. So let's take a look at what that workflow looks like in order to create a solution for someone who happens to be in this particular group. First, you'll click on Add, and then there under Add, you'll want to put the name of the partner organization. Let's say again that we'll call this a agency, we'll call it agency 1. So this is our external agency, agency 1, and I can give them whatever seat limit I want. Now, once I've set that seat limit, I come in and give the email of the partner who's going to be actually handling all of this content. So I'll give them an email here, and then I choose from a calendar the date for the expiration. So in this case, I want to have this expire in 2016, but I actually want it to expire in July of 2016 on the 15th of July. So now I've set the exact date. Now, like in the other version, we can upload an image, find an image that's appropriate, and then use that image for this particular group. Once I'm done with that process, I simply click Save, and then automatically that content will be saved. Now that content, once saved, can be enabled by clicking on the status here to enable that to go live, and I can also copy the link here, and I also have the ability to send a welcome email again in the event that the people who were self-registered for this didn't receive that welcome email, or in the event that this person, virtually human, did not receive a welcome email. Now, once that individual logs into their email account, the person who you registered as the leader of that particular group will receive an email that looks like this. That email will then ask that partner to access their content using this URL. They will then send this information forward to anybody in their organization who they wish to register. Anybody who receives this can click on the link just like so, and it will automatically open up a new registration page. Then users can individually go in and register themselves for accounts. Once the learner has registered for an account, they'll see the basic account appear. Inside of that basic account will be those materials that you've assigned for a generic catalog or for an external learner catalog. So let's take a look at how to create a catalog to associate with your external users. From the admin panel in your account, go to the Catalogs tab. There in the Catalogs tab, you'll want to add a new catalog that contains content for your external learners. Click on Add. To add a new catalog, I'll type the name of the catalog, and I'll choose the group that I wish to show that content to. Here you can see I've chosen the external group, External Learners Agency 1. Then I'll click on Add, and I'll choose some course content, some learning programs, and a certificate, and add that content to my course. And now when the learner returns to the catalog, they'll find the courses that are available to them. The learner can then explore the courses, programs, and certifications, and they're able to easily enroll in any of those courses. And it's just that simple to set up external enrollment.